Hello and welcome to Alan Wake 2. So, this being my annual 2024 playthrough, recently there was a new game plus mode added, and that was the final draft. Upon investigation, the final draft has some differences in the narrative, and so what I'm going to be doing is this. I'm going to be playing through the game for my second time ever from scratch on New Game. And then once I've done the playthrough, I will then do the final draft New Game Plus. So basically, it'll be two playthroughs of the game back to back. One run through normally, and then the final draft will be the New Game Plus mode. So now that I know that, it means that it's going to create a situation where there's going to be heaps of parts to this playthrough. So this playthrough is going to go on longer than I was anticipating, but the unique way that they've implemented the New Game Plus concept into the game's narrative is warranting two separate playthroughs as well. If I had the time last year to do this final draft once it dropped, I would have done that last year for my first ever playthrough. But I didn't have time because there was other games I needed to get to and all that kind of stuff. So this being my annual 2024 playthrough, we're going to start again from the start. And then once the playthrough is finished, I'll start another one on New Game Plus Final Draft as well. Hey there, Hermione. Welcome on in. I'm doing really good, thank you. How's things with you? Interesting strategy. Yeah, it's because of how they've done the New Game Plus. It's not simply redo the story again, but you just keep all your stuff. They've actually added a new intro, a new ending, and they've also added differences along the way in the narrative compared to what happens when you play the game through normally. So it's Remedy doing their very unique kind of twist on a New Game Plus. Dr. Casper Darling, from scratch, was that a spoiler? Well, I mean, any game that has any words or names that are used, I guess, could be a spoiler if someone says the name or word. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to not say certain words just because there might be some characters that are named that and stuff like that. When on, you can change from sprint to walk with a single tap. When off, sprint has to be held down to change from sprint to walk. Hermione, stuff is good on your end, thanks. Nice, that's good to hear, Hermione. Alright, cosmetics, let's have a look. Sort of shotgun skin, sweater. Let's change that to the Oh Dear Diner one for this playthrough. Have that windbreaker on. Now Alan, we'll put him in the celebrity suit. Hermione, you have a little bit of time now. Thought you'd stay and see what the game is about. Oh, nice, Hermione. That's cool. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so I'm doing a new game from scratch. Because I've already played through the game before, last year, and I played on normal, I want to play on story because I want this playthrough to not take as long as it did the first time as well. So we'll play on the easiest difficulty just for the new game. But on New Game Plus mode, I'm going to go back to normal difficulty. This is just for expediency's sake. I wasn't expecting the New Game Plus to be implemented the way that they've implemented it. I did, Hermione. Yeah, that's all done. All those playthroughs are finished. So yeah, celebrating the game's 10th anniversary is well and truly finished. This year it'll be Assassin's Creed Unity's turn.
Back to the beginning. We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever knowing the full story. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
Hermione, oh, you're doing one AC game a year, like giving them the love. Well, I still do my other playthroughs of the AC games, but when there's a game in the series that is celebrating its 10th anniversary, I also do more than one playthrough as well. So because Unity came out in 2014, it's its turn, and then next year it'll be Syndicates, and then in 2027 it'll be Origins, and then in 2028 it'll be Odysseys, and then in 2030 it'll be Valhallas, and in 2033 it'll be Mirages. But I won't be streaming by then. In fact, next year might be my last stream year, depending on how this one goes.
Already gone.
Since 2016, Hermione. So, been a while. Hermione throwing in the towel. Not yet, but there's no point continuing at something if things are just going to stay the same year after year. So after this stream year is finished, I'll see how things go next year. Oh, well, thank you, Hermione. Muchly appreciated. Yeah, I think it's good as a streamer to have your own style and not necessarily try to just, one for one copy others if it's not true to you. Indeed, Hermione.
Hey, kiddo. How are you?
I'm good, Mom. How are you?
This trip might take a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my god, Mom, it's not your fault people get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers! I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom. Love you too. And say hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will. Bye, kiddo. Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
Snarky kid. Wonder where she gets that from.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as the backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Nothing that would cheer anyone up. Here we are. Cauldron Lake.
Time to get to work. A deputy was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene. There's the car, so where's the deputy?
Eaten by a bear? I'll check out that map.
Alright, so. Nope.
Memorizing before we get swallowed up by the trees.
I should take a look at that map.
Hermione, alright, you're off for a bit, but you'll lurk. I'll see you later. That's okay, Hermione. It was good to see you and chat again. I hope you have a good lurk. Thank you for leaving that too. So there's a certain pattern I'm going to follow in this playthrough. Now I'm going to try and explain it in a way that doesn't actually spoil anything, because I don't want to spoil anything for Alan Wake 2. Spoilers for Alan Wake 1 and Control are allowed, but not for Alan Wake 2. There's a certain way in which you can play through this game. When I first played it last year, I played it one way, alternating between one thing and the next. In this playthrough, though, I'm going to focus on one thing first and then the next. Thanks for leaving the lurk, Dr. Darling.
You're the one who wanted to switch.
I think I hear someone.
I'm not walking all the way back
Could
down.
be our deputy.
I can go take a look.
Quit. Hey, over here. Hey there. Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
You're half right. Anderson?
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, you know, that, Federal agents right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
What can you tell us about the crime scene?
Tell them about the heart.
I was getting to that, Thornton. Well, we reckon there are some organs that are currently outside the victim's person when they should be, well, you know, inside.
Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners. I wonder what they were doing sneaking around the woods at night.
Mention the city folk. It's pretty suspicious.
Not that we have anything against city folk, right, Thornton? But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake, around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it.
Hey, Mulligan, tell them I'm here waiting. I'll show them around.
They got it, Thornton.
Dr. Casper Darling, how many streams did the first playthrough take? Having a look, it took 6.
These fucking out-of-towners. We can handle this ourselves if they just stay the hell out of it. All of them.
Shut up, Thornton. They can still hear you.
I'm just saying. You know I'm usually a calm person. Yoga 3 times a week. But these goddamn city folk always think they know everything. It gets on my fucking nerves.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
For fuck's sake.
Dr. Casper Darling said that you know when to come back and be active again. Sounds almost like Barry. Hysterical voice. Yeah. Thanks for the lurk. Hey there, Code. You think the Code Red Riders really, really hate orphans? Save a bunch of them and it will cause a pair of named characters to drop in a small village to be blown up. Yay for Witcher 3. Yeah, that definitely sounds like it's gotten out of hand.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly. The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case. Building the Mind Place again for each case. Using each field office as a model in my head. The facts are on the board. Everything we know about the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
Alright, for the purposes of expediency, I'm not going to be reading everything in this playthrough like I did in my first playthrough last year.
I see you're already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it?
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
Fucking nature. Gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
The final performance of James McCaffrey. Unless there was something else that he had recorded before he passed away, but...
Hey, Casey. You putting me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not that old.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
Damn. Should have brought an umbrella.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels like home.
You think the local law had the sense to put up a tarp?
If they did, next coffee's on me.
No, still not getting it. Try explaining it one more time.
How much clearer can I make it, Mulligan? Hey!
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you. So, FBI, huh? That's so cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob?
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Thornton, he's joking.
Let's just see this body, shall we?
Now, this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. And we didn't touch nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay. Let's start by examining our guest of honor. Does this fit the MO of the previous murders? Body is positioned on the table. Ritualistic. Another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Coincidence? Step 1. Examine the corpse. Incised stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed. The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about. Who is our victim? Who killed him? Need to find more clues. Large amount of blood on the table. The victim died here. Multiple people were here. Multiple killers? Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here, waiting. Boot prints, indicating multiple killers. Quite the party. Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. Now, I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
Nightingale? Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
So you knew our victim?
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas in his head, chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here.
I bet there's more to that story.
But no happy ending.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago. 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern. Makes me wonder what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
I think that's everything. For now, at least.
Mm-hmm. Anything clicking yet?
Not sure. Need to think about it.
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago.
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. Now, I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
Makes sense. They planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now? Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece it together. Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake, before his murder. Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flick the switch. It goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. A Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
The lake is connected to Nightingale somehow. Casey, let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the way.
Sounds good. This way, right?
Right.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just wait here.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They were waiting for him.
When you're ready, I'd love to hear what you put together so far.
Sure. It's not that complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods alone at night, possibly nude. The killers knew he was here, ambushed him, dragged him to the campgrounds, strapped him to the table, cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses, the Bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Mm-hmm. Lots of questions.
Lots of answers for us to find.
I didn't know trees got that big. Gives me the creeps.
You need to get out more. It is kind of creepy, though. Tracks. Barefoot. Nightingales? They come out from under the boulder.
It makes no sense.
There's a piece of paper on the ground. A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Mm-hmm, like a manuscript. Page of a story. The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading the words. These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept, even if they knew it would end up hurting them?
Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way. Either he dropped this page, or the killers left it for us. I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here. What they were doing. Someone playing a game with them. Leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them. Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
We found a page in the woods. A story about these events. What is Nightingale's role in this?
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. You must dig it out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out what.
There's a hole in his chest where his heart should be.
This mug always cheers me up. My first ever prank on Casey. A true classic. Casey's favorite brand. Tastes terrible. Mom may be gone, but whenever I read this, I feel like she's still here. Miss you, kiddo. I'll be home soon. If only the rest of the Bureau knew what a softie Casey is. Found all I can here. Time to properly examine the body. See what I can find inside. Casey, I think something's been put inside Nightingale's body. Let's tell the deputies to get the body to the town morgue.
Okay.
Whoever wrote that page made sure it read like a story. Like a scene from a thriller.
I hate all of it. The text said we'd find more. I believe it.
But what's the purpose? They're twisting events to create their own narrative to do... what? Entertain some fantasy? Projecting their desires? Are we characters or the audience? Witnesses to their design? All the above?
It's all about control. Deciding what happens to who. Don't let it drag you in.
Too late. I'm already hooked. I need the next chapter.
Hey, you made it back. Good. I hope you didn't get stuck in any of those big puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
Deputy, I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination ASAP.
Well, sure, but the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deerfest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Breaker called to say he's got the Bookers at the Oh Dear Diner in town. Oh, and I've got a key to the gate. It's a shortcut back to the parking lot just up the hill.
Thanks. Let's get the car, drive to Bright Falls, and talk to these witnesses, the Bookers.
At the diner, right? I could use a cup of coffee.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy mentioned.
Sounds good.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. Hey there, Lucinda. Good morning. Welcome on in. Well, in true Remedy fashion, it's not a traditional New Game Plus. I didn't want to load up the game and play it to test how the New Game Plus worked, because I just assumed, okay, like other games, you finish the game once, you have New Game Plus mode, you just basically enter that, and then you'll start the game from scratch with all the upgrades that you kept. However, in this game, it's not just starting from scratch with all the equipment and upgrades that you got. It's also giving you a different version of things and new additional stuff in the narrative as well. And so because of that, there's a whole different intro, and there's so many other differences as well. So what I've had to do is actually change how I do the playthrough. So I'm actually starting again from scratch, a new game, this time on the easiest mode, so I can get through the first phase, if you will, play through the game again from start to finish, and then start New Game Plus, which is starting from the start of the game, but you have a different intro and there's different aspects of things going through not only the game, but also the story as well. So it still works in a traditional sense where you keep all the stuff that you had at the end of your previous playthrough. So if you've already played through the game, you can just pick up where you left off in that regard and play through it that way. But because I'm doing an annual playthrough of this now, it means that I have to make sure that I do the first run through first before doing the New Game Plus mode. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. But when I get to New Game Plus, which is called the final draft in this game, I'll go back to normal difficulty. Yeah, so the playthrough is going to take a bit longer than I expected, but because this is my annual play...
What's the far's favorite shape?
Please, Anderson. Just one case without the
A triangle.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
A tree angle. Oh dear. Yeah, Lucinda. So it's very, very different kind of approach. But yeah, I mean, if I had time last year when it released, I would have actually done the New Game Plus straight after. But as you know, had a lot of other games to get to before the year ended, and so when the New Game Plus for this dropped, I didn't have time to do it. And yeah, didn't realize how they had actually crafted it until I actually loaded up the game and had a look, and then saw that the intro was different. I was like, oh, hang on. So I ended the stream and then deleted the VOD and then started this stream.
Seems like a nice town so far. Murders aside. Pretty woods. Cute lodge we got set up in. We should go for a hike if we get a chance.
Now you're just being mean, Anderson.
Deputies aren't exactly up to the task, but hopefully the sheriff will be more helpful.
Not a surprise about the deputies. Doubt they see much stuff this gruesome.
I'm gonna go check something out. Be right back.
Got it.
Is that a kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox. Casey hates the endless jokes about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
I wonder who's in control of this area here.
Can't fit the clues all together yet. Heart removed, tripod, tracks leading to a dead end.
A tripod? For a camera? To record a snuff film?
Maybe. And why take out his heart just to throw it away?
To stuff in something for us to find.
Perhaps we should try Nordic walking. It's the latest thing. It has incontestably proven health benefits.
Here we are. Let's drive back to town and meet the sheriff at the diner. I can't get that manuscript page out of my head. I've never seen killers reach out so directly before.
Damn impressive work so far. With your technique, these hunches were moving fast.
I wasn't sure about taking a case so far from home, but I'm thrilled to be here for this mystery. Need to swing by the lodge to get anything from the field office?
No, I'm all set.
I'll park there anyway. I want to walk to the diner, get a feel for the town. The diner's just up the waterfront. Shouldn't keep the sheriff and our witnesses waiting.
I smell coffee.
I'm gonna go check something out. Be right back.
Got it.
Tuning in, you're listening to the Pat Maine Radio Hour, brought to you by Davis Family Moose Jerky. And boy, what an eventful day here in Bright Falls. By now, we've all seen the FBI setting up shop in town, and I'm sure you're all asking the same question I am. Did they bring all this darn rain with them? Deerfest is right around the corner, and we're all crossing our fingers for sunshine. So, I reached out to our top meteorologist for a weather update. She never responded. But I have her Uncle Tapio on the line from Watery. Tapio, are you there? Yes? Great. And Tapio, what kind of weather can we expect today? Rain. That definitely seems to be on the menu. How about over the next week? Also rain. Right. Care to elaborate? Any chance the sun will poke out in time for Deerfest? No. Deerfest is coming, rain or shine, and that parade lineup is looking dandy as ever. Yes, I like this parade because they're one slumped in the shape of a swan, long neck and everything. A very large swan. So you're a fan of swans? No. Right, well, that's our time. We'll be right back after this next song by the rock and roll sensation, National Nightmare.
So in Alan Wake 1, the lodge was actually destroyed, not completely, but partially. And so all these years later, they actually took it from where it was originally and then brought it into the main drag of Bright Falls, and then also had renovated it and stuff. This building was constructed as a part of one of the early settlements in the Greater Bright Falls area. Built in 1898, the building has been both in private and public use through the years and has bravely stood the test of time. In 2015, it was carefully taken apart and relocated here in downtown Bright Falls, where it was rebuilt into its original glory log by log. The Elderwood Palace Lodge reopened in Bright Falls in 2016 and has served its customers faithfully ever since. In my first playthrough, I didn't actually notice and realize this was a location I could access until I got a bit further in the story, and so I want to see if there's anything that I might have actually missed that doesn't play again if you go too far.
So sleepy. Just a few more days.
Hi there!
I didn't notice this before my first playthrough. Here's an arcade cabinet for Remedy's first game, Death Rally. I like how we just randomly go into this person's room and they're just like, hi there. Well, I guess it's not their room specifically, but still. But like, what the hell are you doing here? Cauldron Lake, look into news and rumors, focus on 2010, cross-reference with old case files from New York Cult. Similarities, commonalities, and methodology, part of series. Find out name of good coffee from diner.
It won't open.
Take it easy.
Hey there, Mr. Deer. You remind me of a dream I had.
Hello.
Just a few more days.
Welcome back, Anderson.
Just how much coffee have you had today, Charlie?
Don't know, don't care. How much have you had? Not enough. That's how much. Never enough coffee. Oh, that rich, bittersweet nectar. Get it in Coffee World. Get it where you can. Get it now.
Jesus, Charlie.
Oh dear. Cute.
Let me guess. The FBI. Welcome to Bright Falls. It's nice to have you here. I got you both some coffee. Oh, it's Washington's finest.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff. I'm set for coffee.
You know, I wouldn't say no to another.
I'm Agent Saga Anderson. This is Agent Alex Casey.
Tim Breaker. And let me just say, I'm happy you two are here. Frankly, we could use the help.
Your deputies said you had a couple of witnesses here.
They made them sound like suspects.
Mulligan and Thornton are still on about that? No, the Bookers don't strike me as the murdering type, but you can decide for yourselves. They're just inside having coffee and pie to calm their nerves.
I'll see what they have to say. Casey, you compare notes with the sheriff.
Take your time.
The first thing I
When
saw,
you've looked
Sean.
through the case files you sent over, Sheriff, have you had many people besides the known victims go missing?
Sure. But it's slowed down ever since Cauldron Lake was fenced off.
Let me guess. Missing person cases spiked around 2010. The fence was built just after.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
we'll be here.
Hey, Hermione, welcome back. The graphics in this game look good. They do, yeah. Yeah, I'm playing it on a PlayStation 5. The first thing I saw Sean Ashmore in was the very first X-Men movie that they did 23 years ago. And he's been in heaps of stuff since, of course. In terms of video games, the other game that I've seen him in is Quantum Break, which is another Remedy game. He plays the main character, Jack Joyce, and also in Dark Pictures' Man and Medan as well. He plays Conrad.
I can't believe that happened. I still feel like I'm gonna be sick.
Come on, Ed. Have some pie. It'll take your mind off things.
Excuse me. I'm Agent Saga Anderson. Are you the Bookers?
That's us. I'm Tammy, and he's Ed.
Hello, officer.
Just Saga is fine, Ed.
So, are we being charged with anything? Because if not, we'd love to get back to our hotel and decompress after what we saw. Take a bath, scream into pillows, that kind of thing.
We're not charging you. I just have a few questions. Nothing to stress about, okay? What were you doing at Cauldron Lake last night?
I'm a writer. True crime. We're here from New York, doing some research on a famous novelist, Alan Wake, who went missing here. I was down at the lake, getting some details. Perfectly legal.
So what did you see in the woods?
This naked dude came out of the lake, and he was acting crazy, shouting weird shit at us. He must have been on something.
Unless skinny dipping at dawn is a thing around here.
Then we heard shooting. We ran into these psychos in deer masks. They were tearing into the naked guy with knives, like some kind of satanic cult. And then we bolted and called the cops.
What makes you say it was a cult?
The masks and knives aren't enough.
They were shouting, "Cult of the tree, the cult of the tree, cult of the tree." Oh, and then we found out. The whole thing was terrifying. That's all.
No books. No wisdom. Just you. Fratello mio. Thanks for redeeming that quote from Assassin's Creed Revelations. Thanks, Casper. Hermione, you don't know why, but you love diners in video games, TV series, and movies. Yeah, I haven't really actually been to many diners either. But it's interesting when they get used and stuff.
The cult of the tree. What aren't the Bookers telling me?
I found their necklace. The symbol is 2 triangles.
The cult wants their spruce tree back, Tammy.
Finders keepers, Ed. My publisher will want this on the cover.
Tammy found something. A necklace belonging to one of the cultists. The Bookers were at Cauldron Lake. Why?
The fence was built to hide what's there. They say the rider fell in the lake.
Private party. No trespassing.
My book has questions. Past the bolt cutters.
They broke in for the sake of Tammy's book. Nothing to do with the murder. They were telling the truth. So you found something there, right? A necklace these cultists may have dropped.
Okay. Wow. How did you put that together?
It's evidence. You need to hand it over.
Okay.
Told you not to keep that thing to me.
Thanks. This could prove to be helpful. Do me a favor. Stick around town for now in case we have any more questions.
like we'd even dream of missing dear Fez.
Oh, God. Saga! Saga Anderson. As I live and breathe. I thought we'd never see you back here after that awful, awful thing happened to your baby girl. How are you? I'm sorry. Who are you? I don't know what you're talking about. It's me, silly. Rose. You know me. I don't think I do. And what horrible thing happened to my baby girl? She drowned. Your daughter. That's so weird you don't remember. How do you know I have a daughter? Oh, I know what this is. You're blocking out your traumatic memories. Happens on TV all the time. No. You're mistaking me for someone else. If you say so.
I absolutely love this reference over here. The jukebox is out of order. The poor old thing can only take so much of the same song being played over and over and over. I'm as big a fan of coconut as the next person, but come on. Aw. Coconut's awesome though. You put the lime in the coconut, drink it all up. You put the lime in the coconut and drink it all up.
Exactly why I hate small towns.
Keep it down, Ed. You know how touchy these rural types can be?
Rose was just humming a little bit of the Deer Fest song. In Alan Wake 1, if you actually hang around long enough, you can hear Odin and Tor Anderson sing the Deer Fest song. And Rose was actually humming the tune to that. The deer is dear to me, the deer is dear to me, is one of the parts of the lyric. Hermione, creepy interaction? Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Godfather Al. Welcome. The Remedy Connected Universe God. Maybe we are in the Remedy universe. How's it going, Godfather Al? Casper, don't go in the dark, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark. I think I'll be fine, man. I haven't. Hermione, no. No, I haven't actually played Max Payne games on stream. I was actually having a look because I wanted to actually do my first playthroughs of Max Payne 2 and 3. I never finished Max Payne 1. I had the PS2 version, but I never actually finished it. And I had a look recently to see if I could access 2 and 3 on PlayStation, and they're not available. Only the first one is available.
Rest easy, buddy.
Oh, is that what you meant, Dr. Casper? Yeah, in this context. Taking the same quote, but applying it to Saga this time. Hermione, that's a shame. Yeah, you only know the first is available on PlayStation. All 3 should be. Well and truly, Hermione, for sure. I'm going to have a look, though. I didn't have a look on Xbox. Because if Max Payne 2 and 3 are actually on Xbox 360, then that'll be good. Hermione, the first is awesome. The second might even be better. Yeah, never played the other two. But I did like the first one. But it's been so long since I played it. It was literally like probably 2000 and, well, the year it came out. Whatever year that was.
I need something to force this open.
Carl Stuckey. Pleased to meet you. Something I only just noticed in my recent playthrough of Alan Wake 1 was that this poster about Coffee World, in Alan Wake 1, there's a poster that talks about how Coffee World is going to be opening up or something. So, it's so cool when little things like that happen. But yeah, Coffee World is a thing in this. Yeah, it's a long time since you played them also. You used to download a lot of mods for the first game. There was a great Kung Fu mod. Oh, nice. That would have been cool, especially because of the Matrix and all that too.
A cult murdering a man is pretty extreme. Why didn't you tell the police what you saw?
We did. We told those two idiot deputies. They didn't listen. And they wanted to throw Ed and I in jail for that murder. You know, Bright Falls is just Alabama with bigger trees.
This is my case now, and no one is throwing you in jail. If you need anything else, just come to me.
Got it. Thank you, Saga.
Good to see you.
Exactly, Hermione, yeah. Yeah, I still remember the parody in Scary Movie.
So, we're not being arrested?
We're all good, Ed. You can ease up now.
God. Hey, you think they serve avocado toast here?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't count on it.
It was right along Matrix craze. You had to look it up, but Max Payne is from 2001, 2 is 2003, the Matrix 1 is from 1999. That's true, it is. Yeah, the first Matrix came out in 1999. So yeah, Max Payne wasn't the first form of media to use bullet time, but I think it wasn't called bullet time until they called it that in Max Payne. I don't think they ever referred to bullet time as bullet time in the Matrix when they talked about it at the time of release or stuff. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not I'm not a know-it-all on Matrix stuff. I only really watched the first one with a lot of... Well, I've seen the first one multiple times. The second and the third I watched once and haven't returned to.
So, Rose, help me out. How do you think we know each other?
We all know each other around here. It's been a while, but I never forget a face. Or a coffee order.
Guess I just have one of those faces. Seen anything out of the ordinary in town lately? Suspicious people in deer masks?
No one's suspicious. But soon enough, there'll be lots of happy people wearing deer masks for Deerfest. Practically everyone will be wearing one.
Good to know.
All set. My guys have Nightingale at the morgue if you're ready to go take a look.
Let's go. Well, Casey, I got a lead. Looks like we're dealing with a cult. The cult of the tree.
A murder cult. Fuck.
Have you heard of this cult of the tree, Sheriff?
Only the urban legend. If you're in the woods at night, the cult will get you. That sort of thing.
We're not gonna find out you're the Grand Wizard or something, are we?
I played some D&D back in the day. The wizard was always my favorite class.
Morning, Sheriff. Looks like you have some guests.
Morning, Ted. Yeah, real important guests. Deerfest. Always draws a crowd, right?
Too true. More the merrier. Have a good one, Sheriff.
Hey, what do you know about that waitress from the diner?
Rose? Yeah, she's a bit of a space case. Always has been. Why? What'd she do now?
She kept saying that my daughter drowned. She even knew my name. It was all very weird.
Rose has a talent for saying the weirdest thing possible. But it's best not to take it personally.
Hey, boss. Corpse is downstairs ready to go.
Yep, in the morgue, all prepped.
I'd like to take a closer look as soon as possible. Lead the way, Sheriff.
Oh, this is the Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Anything you need, just let us know.
We appreciate the support, Sheriff.
Have a nice day.
Agent?
Since Alan Wake 1.
The investigation is being taken over by the federal agents. Sheriff Breaker wants us to cooperate fully.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
I'm being serious, Nelson.
So the thing about how long it has been since the first Alan Wake came out, which was 2010, and this game, 2023.
I don't know about you folks, but I don't care for all these gruesome murders and whatnot right here in our wholesome little town. It's not what I signed up for.
This line of work is not for the faint of heart.
Faint of... Oh.
And so, just like in real life, how things can be changed, renovations can happen, even rearranging the entire location of a, like...
Done with all this official business yet? I have a breakfast bagel waiting for me.
Is that it allowed them to make changes inside certain buildings that from Alan Wake 1 and still have a plausible reason as to why they look so different. So, for example, this room here is where Alan in Alan Wake 1 is being looked at by Dr. Nelson. And in that game, there wasn't a doorway that led into a different room here. Basically, this was the spot, roughly, where Alan and Dr. Nelson were. And here was a longer table. And then you'd go out here. Pretty much this is the same, even as far as this door being here. But in the first game, you couldn't open this door and go in here. The front here of the office is pretty much the same as it was in Alan Wake 1.
I'll be right with you, sir.
Yep. Just here to pay my ticket. Whenever you're ready to take my money.
I can't force it open.
And then through here, of course, is another aspect of the station which is in there. But it's been rearranged and everything since the first game as well.
No speeding happening here, I see.
Sir, some patience, please.
Now, the holding cells are very different, so I'll cover that when we get to it. So all this part here is the same. In Alan Wake 1, the police department doesn't have a morgue. Therefore, it doesn't have stairs leading down into the morgue. That's something that was added to this station in the 10 years since the events of Alan Wake 1 as well. Hermione, you Googled a bit and found the original Matrix script. So they do actually mention bullet time in the script itself. Nice. Well, there you go. Listen to Alan Wake HD Police Department. Exactly. Yeah, that's the other great thing too. When you actually see locations from a previous entry or a previous version. It's like with Red Dead Redemption 2, being able to travel to the locations that you visit in Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh dear, I am a tourist, and it appears that I'm lost in the woods. If only had a tour guide also.
I love this. I can't play this and not play this. Oh, I can't do it yet, I don't think.
Help.
Oh no. Help. A bear.
Did somebody call for a tour guide? Oh wow. Adventure tours. Unforgettable tour experiences. At affordable prices.
I still think that's the funniest video of the brothers. But I can't see it in a bigger screen yet. Hermione, you love it when games do that with locations without spoiling anything. You can tell your Remedy does a lot of that in Max Payne 1 and 2 as well. Oh, that's cool. That's good. You're glad the silly stuff, TV stuff is still in Alan Wake. Oh, hell yeah, Hermione. Yeah, I love that.
But the government. We have both cutters. Oh wow.
So we share a morgue with the funeral home next door. It's a shoestring budget. I guess you guys don't have that problem, though. Our only coroner rotates between a few other towns, and he's away this week, but you can handle this, right?
I'm qualified to perform examinations. Yes.
Hermione, did I get the pink flamingos in Max Payne 1? Oh, it's so long ago since I played it, Hermione. It probably would have been 2002 or something when I played it last.
Something about morgues. They always cheer me up.
I can't say I feel the same.
Hermione override old man's memory. Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that, you experience once years ago and then you never re-experience it again, and so, yeah, but I can't remember any sort of like specific stuff about that game, really. Joking a bit with you, you're only 2 years younger than you and your memory's not too good either. Yeah, I guess you can't really remember something that didn't make an impression strongly. That's the button I was looking for. Alright. So let's quick slot that straight away. Do. And Charm increases maximum health. Hermione, true, also memory's episodic. God, you really want to stay, but you also want to play Alan Wake 2 yourself, the Eternal Conundrum. I definitely know what that's like myself. There's certain levels of I'm okay with seeing something I haven't played before, but then if I get really interested, especially if it's a game I don't know anything about, there becomes a point where I'm like, okay, the story's starting to reveal a bit too much about itself, so I'll have to, dip out, kind of thing. But I definitely understand what that feeling's like.
It won't open. Okay. Let's take a look at our patient. I'll start with the external inspection before performing the internal examination.
Hemingway. Alright, so let's go and look more around here. Characters are like, what is Saga doing?
Can't be opened on this side.
Hermione, it's a shame too, because you really like hanging out in your streams. Play a game you're not planning on playing next. You propose Snake on the Nokia, find an emulator for it.
What was the cause of death? What other clues can the body give me? There's writing on here. Can't make it out.
Writing? How'd they manage that?
The body shows signs of being submerged in water post-mortem. It doesn't add up. This looks like text. A tattoo?
Nightingale didn't strike me as a tattoo guy. Defensive wounds. He put up a fight.
Uh-huh. They did leave something inside his chest.
Listen, yeah, you're cautiously tuning in as well. Yeah, it's a little bit of an art sometimes as well, especially when there's both like text and things like that that come up on the screen in subtitles as well. Because sometimes they can put a name up there on the screen that you're like, oh, Hermione, this was the guy from the beginning. It sure was. So this thing with the brothers can be seen there, but I'll show that later.
Time to see what Nightingale's body can tell us.
Hermione, okay, you've been checking the Arnie impression cooldown since Casper redeemed it. How long is the cooldown? So I've got a 1 hour cooldown now on those particular ones. There are some channel point rewards that I will have for games and things that don't have as long of one. But I wanted to make the frequency at which certain things were redeemed a little bit longer. That balance of trying to maintain a sense of fun for the person who wants to redeem it, at the same time also trying to make sure that people who are trying to be immersed in the game have a little bit more extra time of immersion before someone might redeem it, something like that. So I've been doing a bit of a balance with that kind of thing. You have a phrase you're itching to hear you say, but maybe next time. Oh, that's fair enough, Hermione, yeah.
Keep trying. Chest wound is cause of death, but the corpse is bloated, waterlogged. Doesn't add up.
Hermione, gotcha. No, you totally understand. 1 hour sounds good. How long do you have to wait now? Maybe you'll stick around a bit longer. So my activity feed is telling me that it was redeemed 26 minutes ago now. It just ticked over. So yeah, 26 minutes ago was when it was redeemed.
There's definitely something in his chest. Did the killers leave it there? We're dealing with an organized group of killers, not a lone serial killer.
That's fair enough, Hermione. No trouble at all. Thank you so much for leaving the lurk.
The cult of the tree is behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cult case. Exciting. It's the same type of page we found at Cauldron Lake.
Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her. The Taken could not see into bright light. Light hurt them, made them vulnerable. Nightingale had no heart, but here he was, killing.
Someone's created a fucked up fantasy about us.
Hey, hold on. We found these kinds of pages. I didn't think they were relevant to this case. I have them right here. No, wait.
Sheriff?
What the hell? Show me the clicker.
Didn't see her. Could not see into bright light.
I'll make you pay.
He's coming. No weapon. The page said to get into the light.
I have Godfather, yeah, only once though, but I have played through it before. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
He can't see me in the light. My gun's out in the hall. Gotta get it back.
Alright, so there's some key differences from Alan Wake 1 with safe havens. Safe havens will restore some of your health. If you leave or attack from a safe haven while in combat, it will become temporarily unavailable. So that was something in Alan Wake 1 that didn't happen. You could stay inside a safe haven light and shoot at enemies all you wanted. The light would still stay on. In this game though, as soon as you start to attack from inside the light goes off.
Go.
And in this game it only restores some of your health, not all of it, like in Alan Wake 1.
He knocked my gun out of the room. I need to find it.
Get out of my house. Saga.
Vanished. He didn't have a heart, but he still got up. The page predicted all of it. It helped me fight him.
He just disappeared? What the hell is going on here?
We need to figure that out if we're going to do anything about it. Somehow we need to make sense of this.
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult. A ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster. Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. He was there too. Nightingale. Was, but wasn't a Taken, a creature of darkness. He was beyond her reach, where some other strange reality, the dark place, merged with ours. This place and the dark place, a tarp thrown over top, drowning everything beneath it, a flood of darkness, soaking into everything, spoiling it, rotting it. The page called this area an overlap. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult, required precise steps, a ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster before he killed again. Her job. He'd be inside, waiting for her. The autopsy room was a mess, like a bomb had gone off. Nightingale hunted Saga. Didn't see her under the light, lurched past her. The Taken could not see into bright light. The light hurt them, hurt the darkness in them, made them vulnerable. I flick the switch, it goes click. Show me the clicker, lights are off, but somebody's home. Hemingway brought you here, witch. Get out of my house, Nightingale shouted. A wave of terror crashed through Saga's head. The awful truth. Nightingale had no heart in his chest, but here he was, killing a monster. The world had lurched out of balance. You found yourself trapped on the far side of the mirror.
Right before things got crazy, Sheriff Breaker just vanished.
Maybe the sheriff knew more than he was letting on.
He seemed anxious, like he dreaded what was coming. One more mystery. There's no rational explanation to what we just saw.
I'd love to blame this on mass hallucination caused by inhaling volcanic gas, but we both know that's bullshit. This was supernatural.
Well, I'm glad you were the one to say it. Now we can figure out a way forward. The victim of a ritualistic murder turns into a monster. Is there a connection?
Looks to me like the cult of the tree is performing rituals to create monsters.
Maybe. We need to start with learning this cult's goal, their purpose. A dead man turned into a monster. Light as a way to fight him. Pages predicting the future. There's no rational explanation. This is the case we must solve. I need to know more about the Code of the Tree if I'm going to shut them down.
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
Doesn't look right.
That's not right. The page places Nightingale back at Cauldron Lake. Calls him a Taken. We need to head over there, stop him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Okay.
We heard gunshots. Y'all okay?
Did you get spooked by the bodies?
Sheriff Breaker disappeared. Nightingale turned into some sort of a monster, and there are offices down. You two handle things here. We need to get back to Cauldron Lake immediately.
Fuck me. That's terrible. We'll do what we can, man.
But that's crazy, right, Thornton? Nightingale's heart was missing. How could he do anything? He's dead.
Well, yeah, right. Well, that's all crazy talk. Monsters aren't real, and what do you mean the sheriff disappeared? Like poof? He's gone like magic? Magic's not real. Magic's not real. Right, Mulligan?
No, Thornton. Monsters aren't real, and magic's definitely not real.
I knew that.
They're a fine pair.
My client has been held here long enough. Are you gonna let me speak to them or not?
Just a moment, ma'am. Someone will be right with you.
How many times do we have to do this, Walter? Huh? I'm at my wit's end with you.
I like that. Another character named Walter who's in the Bright Falls Sheriff
You
Station.
think I like throwing you in jail every other day? No, I don't. Do you have any idea how much paperwork you're causing me? What's a lot?
I want out! Something bad's going down. I can feel it. Let me out!
Before I was saying about the differences that have happened inside of certain buildings
Think about your life choices, buddy.
since Alan Wake 1. Because Alan Wake 1 takes place 13 years before this game, it means that there's plenty of time for things to be changed inside of buildings and all that kind of stuff. And so this whole cell area here, in Alan Wake 1, there's only one side that actually has cells. Whereas on the left side, there's just a wall. And then they've shifted where the door is in relation to that. Originally, it was all sort of like you walk through the door, and then to your left is the wall already. And then in the corner was the television. And this side was all wall, and this was the only side with cells on it. And as I was saying before, because the same amount of time had passed in real life from when the first game was released, it meant that they could do changes like this for modern graphics and modern consoles and, you know, all that kind of stuff without it being like, hang on, how could they have changed that? You know, because as we know in real life, things get changed. Things don't always stay the exact same over 10 years or more period.
Take it easy.
Nightingale and his cult are dangerous. We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have. Can you call it in, Casey?
A smart choice, Anderson. Yeah, Agent Casey here. Yeah. We need backup. The Bright Falls case? Whoever you can spare. ASAP. Think we'll actually find Nightingale at the lake?
The pages haven't been wrong yet.
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree. But it's our best lead. This is the same symbol as that cult necklace.
Not exactly hiding in the shadows, are they?
Oh man. In Control, there's something that at the start of the
take a quick
game
look around. Meet you back at the car.
See you in a bit.
gets said, and then at the end of the game, the rest of it gets said, and it's one of those situations where they introduce a setup for something that doesn't pay off until like at the end of the story. These things here, the payoff for this is just fucking chef's kiss with all this. Mayor Setter won't roll over on the issues, that's for sure, because he's a good boy.
Mayor Setter won't roll over on the issues.
Did you check out the town, Anderson?
Just getting my bearings. Ready to go?
Waiting on you.
Rinse and repeat. Clock out, get a beer. Or maybe 3.
Or maybe 3. How about 2 or 10 beers?
I need to come clean, Anderson. I know why Nightingale was here 13 years ago. He was chasing a writer, Alan Wake.
Tammy mentioned him. She's writing a book on his disappearance.
You know the detective character from his books, Alex Casey.
Yeah, I've heard the jokes at the office. Cold case Casey. Murder case Casey. Sorry.
Ha. It's the same name, similar job. It's the first thing anyone thinks of. It annoyed me, but that was it. Then, 10 years ago, I started getting strange letters in the mail. Fragments of prose describing murders. You've heard the stories about what happened in New York. Some of it, at least. Bodies started to pile up. It was a murder cult. Turns out the fragments sent to me were from the crime books of Alan Wake. The cult was copycatting the murders from the books. In their heads, they were performing a ritual to bring Wake back. Their imagined prophet. After that case, I started looking into Wake's disappearance on the side.
And you thought this case might be connected to him? His name does keep popping up.
I just wanted you to have all the facts.
Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the middle of a horror story. The page says Nightingale's in something called an overlap. Need to figure out exactly what that means.
I'm happy I'm not in charge of this mess.
Thanks. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed. The writer of these pages knows what will happen. Because they're behind this, or because they can see what's coming. Impossible things are happening here. A world operating on different rules. I need to understand this strange logic. To see the clues. To solve the case.
been thinking more about the cult of the tree. What sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
In my experience, they don't.
We're not seeing the full picture yet.
Hey, hello there. How are you folks doing?
Those restricted area signs don't do a damn thing, huh?
Hello. Saga Anderson. Are you two supposed to be here?
I'm Ilmo Koskela. Fantastic to meet you. And yes, Stephen here hired me to show him through the woods. He's in town on important government business, fixing this impressive piece of hardware.
I work for the FBC, ma'am. I'm authorized to be here.
And I bet you two are here about that murder. Nasty stuff. How's it going?
How did you hear about the murder, Ilmo? Do you know anything that could help us?
People tend to tell me things. The Koskela brothers are kind of a household name around here. Speaking of, if you're looking for some fun, stop by Watery. Just down the road from Bright Falls, there's our Coffee World amusement park. There's sauna ja vihta. And we offer a variety of guided tours, hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever strikes your fancy. You name it, we probably got it.
What is this thing?
It's just a monitoring station, ma'am. The Federal Bureau of Control checks volcanic activity and air toxicity levels. No need to worry, though. It's mostly for research purposes.
That's one gorgeous sweater, Saga. Looks Nordic. I bet a family member made it.
My mother made this sweater for me. How do you know?
I knew it. My mom used to knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery, my hometown, was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from Finland too. Suomi, Finland. Ulla, Karjalan piirakka.
Close. My mom's family is from Sweden originally. I don't know much about them beyond that. The sweater is just something to remember her by. Stephen, we're investigating a murder that occurred nearby. What can you tell me about your bureau?
Nothing that isn't classified, I'm afraid. But I don't know anything about a murder. Operations here are run by a different department. I'm just here to make some repairs. The wiring on this thing frays every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can't gnaw right through a garbage can.
That's all for now.
What the hell is this?
What'd you find there, Stephen?
Nothing. Just something that shouldn't be here. Raccoons my ass.
In Control, there's a document you can read that talks about this station here and how raccoons might be involved, but it's not, you know. But that is classified information that is redacted. I'm going to take this opportunity.
Tickets into Coffee World. Just say the word.
Thanks, but I don't drink coffee.
We brew our own beer too. Ahma beer.
Oh, now we're talking.
Now that we've met Ilmo in the game, I'll take this opportunity to show the first video of theirs. So the actor who plays both is Peter Franzen, plays both brothers.
Oh dear, I am a tourist, and it appears that I'm lost in the woods. If only had a tour guide. Also, it's bear season. Oh no, a bear. Help. Did somebody call for a tour guide? Oh wow, Koskela Brothers Adventure Tours. Unforgettable tour experiences at affordable prices. That's right, I'm Ilmo Koskela, voted best coffee roaster slash tour guide by Coffee World magazine, and I'm here to give you the tour of a lifetime. But Ilmo, I've heard the government has seized and restricted access to many local nature attractions. That is true, Jaakko. Many local attractions have recently become fenced off by the government, and that's why at Koskela Brothers Adventure Tours we say, fuck the government. We have bolt cutters. Oh wow, you think of everything, and we'll take you anywhere.
Hiking through the scenic Elderwood National Park. Fishing in the crystal clear waters of Bright Falls Dam. Bird watching at majestic Mirror Peak.
The tour of a lifetime is just one phone call away. Book now to get a 9% discount on this limited edition Oh Dear Diner coffee thermos.
That's still my favorite one out of their ads. Absolutely love it.
Let's get to the murder site, Casey. A lot of things about this case keep bothering me. But one thing feels really off. Breaker's disappearance. I don't get the feeling Nightingale was responsible.
He was about to give you more of those pages. Something didn't want us to have them? Or was protecting him from Nightingale? Spontaneous combustion? I don't know. Not the kind of disappearance we normally solve. Our crime scene's drowning. I never minded rain. Feels like home.
No sign of Nightingale. But the page did place him at Cauldron Lake, in an overlap. So how do we follow him there?
Maybe something around here will tell us.
After we find Nightingale, what then? I've never arrested a monster.
I've watched you arrest plenty of monsters, Anderson.
You know what I mean. Monsters. Light worked against him at the morgue. That might be the only way to stop him from hurting anyone else. Monsters? Overlaps? Rituals? What do you make of all of this?
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
But with dead men coming alive, the word ritual starts to have more weight behind it. We need to look around. Learn what this ritual is. We've seen this symbol before.
Good eye.
It's a couple of tree angles.
Bare feet. Nightingale. I'll see where these footprints lead. Can you comb through the crime scene one more time, KC? Just in case?
On it. If anything comes up, I'll radio you.
tracks lead into the water. Where'd he go from here? I can feel something. A presence. Nightingale isn't far. What is that? Seems like it's reacting to the light. These aren't the same tracks that were here before. They're headed into the tree, not out of it. My flashlight burned the dark stuff away. It was covering another page.
So in this game, when you boost your torch, it basically uses one ammo of your battery. And then once you actually get your ammo for your battery, so to speak, empty, the character automatically reloads the light, which can happen when you're being attacked by an enemy. So you've got to be careful because you can be stun locked with the animation of the reloading and then get attacked by the enemy and killed if you're low health.
The fuse was in place. Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay. I trust the pages to lead me to the overlap.
The fuse was in place. She found it among the junk in the forest. Saga stepped inside the witch's hut. Something rushed through her. A presence. Familiar. She couldn't quite place it. Something long forgotten. She tried to hold on to it, but it was already gone. Inside, a bright light. Saga felt safe. Like nothing could hurt her here. There were objects that stood out to Saga as if the light had manifested them. Pulled them from the darkness. A shift in reality, heavy with hidden meanings. A coffee thermos, a shoebox, a mop and a bucket, a poster on the wall, and in the cabinet, another manuscript page.
I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
The tree was a threshold. This place and the dark place. You're in over your head. Next stop, Caldera Street Station.
The threshold. Like a doorway. Leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree. Witch's ladle? This is the witch's hut.
Anderson, thought I saw something in the woods. Probably just a deer, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I found another page. Following up on a lead. Keep checking in.
Roger.
The page described the hut being lit and mentioned a fuse. fuse box is missing a fuse. I need to find one to turn on the lights. This fuse is busted. A lunchbox again. Who's leaving these out here? This one looks good. People should really stop littering, though.
Lucinda, okay, Rod, it's time for you to get your day started. Hope you have a great rest of your stream and enjoy your second playthrough of Alan Wake 2. Thank you so much, Lucinda. I definitely will. Thank you so much for being here, especially with a game that I know you'll play in the future and trying to sort of like, dodge spoilers and stuff. Thank you so very much for that. And I hope you have a great start to your stream of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Would like to highly recommend people check out Lucinda's channel. Is doing a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the first time. The only other game in the series after that she'll be doing that's left is Assassin's Creed Mirage. Is also a fan of the Resident Evil series, as well as The Last of Us, Evil Within, as well as Dying Light and also Dishonored. Is also playing through the Remedy games Alan Wake and Control and Alan Wake 2. Finished a playthrough of Alan Wake 1 recently, first time playing through that. And in the future, at some point, she'll be doing a playthrough of Control and Alan Wake 2 as well. But highly recommend checking out Lucinda's channel if you haven't before. And I hope you have a great start to your stream, Lucinda, and look forward to more hearing the word back route. Maybe some more people need their gear thrown down a mountain as well. That's okay for the shout out, Lucinda. No trouble at all.
Another page. Making progress.
The image of the witch in the sign. Saga addressed the witch. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign. Witch's ladle, towering over Saga, watching her and the witch. The image of the witch in the sign. Nightingale's heart, a cold, dead lump in her hand. Her definition of sanity had changed since she arrived in this town. But she trusted the pages. Was forced to. Saga addressed the witch. She squinted to read the first part of the ritual words. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. The words she had read on the page. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign. This was the key. The tree was the threshold.
Don't need to go over all this again. The page from the witch's hut seems to be describing some kind of ritual. To get into the overlap, I need to find Nightingale's heart. Read the line imprinted on it, plus the line on the page to the witch's ladle sign. Then push the heart through the hole in the sign. Nightingale's heart disappeared from the morgue. Where is it now? I need Nightingale's heart to get to the overlap. Where is it?
The cultist leaned close. He was there, but he was risen. Nightingale was there. The opposite of sunspots. Who said that?
That's not it. I don't have what I need to find Nightingale's heart. There must be more. Nightingale's heart. Where is it?
While they played cards in the general store, the witch had stolen his heart. Get out of my house.
Nightingale's heart is at the general store, in a fridge.
Meanwhile, they played cards in the general store. The witch had stolen his heart. Get out of my house.
The actor for Nightingale is Doug Cockle, who plays Geralt in the Witcher games. Hey, Mr. Goatee, welcome on in. Now, having said that, listen to him as Nightingale again, if you've played Witcher, that is.
Meanwhile, they played cards in the general store. The witch had stolen his heart. Get out of my house.
Now, obviously, it's pretty hard to tell his voice amongst all of that, but it's really cool, especially too, like if you think about his character Nightingale in this, mentioning they were playing cards, and of course, Doug Cockle voicing Nightingale and having voiced Geralt in the Witcher games. What's the #1 card game in the Witcher series? Gwent. I like when you can create connections between things that aren't intended to be connections. It's just that the connecting pieces just happen to be pieces of other things as well, whether it's, you know, an actor's name or a director's name or a writer's name or a character's name or things like that.
I need to check the general store for the heart.
Casey, I'm headed to the general store. I think I know how to get into the overlap.
Roger that. I followed some ATV tracks in the woods and got a bit turned around.
Did you get lost?
I've only been lost once in my life, Anderson. The years I spent with my ex-wife. I'll find my way back, don't you worry about it.
Okay, so my first playthrough was the 2nd of October. Well, I finished it on the 2nd of October. Did I start? That doesn't seem right. Anyway, in October last year I did my first playthrough. So it took me 31 hours and 23 minutes in that one.
Christ! Occultist. A monster. Like Nightingale.
Because of the nature of the New Game Plus, I didn't realize that it not only carries over your items from your first playthrough, it literally adds new story content to the narrative. It means that I wanted to do a new game from scratch first for my second playthrough, and then once I've finished, do the New Game Plus mode. And in order to make sure that the playthrough doesn't take as long as the first one did to do this first, well, run through, I turned I put the difficulty on story mode for this playthrough, which is easy. But once we get to the point where I'm going to be doing the New Game Plus content or playing New Game Plus, I'll play on the normal difficulty and all that kind of stuff. That's why that enemy only took a couple of shots to kill, whereas on normal mode it takes quite a few. Even if you shoot them in their weak point, it doesn't necessarily do as much damage as you would think it would do. Or it didn't feel like it when I first played it.
Saga edged toward the broken door, her gun ready, flashlight aimed ahead. Nightingale said it would be here. The Cauldron Lake General Store was overgrown, left to rot. Saga thought about the cult of the tree. They had been here, waiting, planning a gruesome ritual murder. Meanwhile, they played cards in the general store, like it was just another late-night poker game. Saga stepped closer to the door. Had the animal broken it? There was a loud crash. Saga found herself face to face with a cultist, a hulking figure in a raincoat. We watch in the night, wild eyes behind a plastic deer mask, an axe in his raised hand.
The text on the heart is clearer now. Legible. I feel like I recognize this. The fridge. The heart. I knew it would be here. Like I saw it in a dream. And now I need to give the heart to the witch. Makes total sense. Found the heart in the fridge. Just like the page said I would. Sounds literary. But what does it mean? Casey, there are cultists in the area. They're taken, like Nightingale. Watch yourself out there.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. I'm still finding my way back.
You have the worst sense of direction.
Any city in America I can get through drunk and blindfolded. It's these damn trees.
Okay. I'm en route to Witch's Ladle. I need to perform a ritual to open the overlap. This case just keeps getting weirder. But it is exciting. A locked box. Is that the cult of the tree symbol on it? Wonder what's inside. I should take a look around for a way to open this thing. Notes and ammo. Looks like they're tools of the trade. A creepy twig sculpture?
Hello there, Ben Darren. How's things going? Everything is well. Yeah, things are going well. And thanks for the good luck with the playthrough. Are you doing any kind of challenge? Not with this playthrough, no. No extra challenges. The New Game Plus was added recently, and in the traditional sense, it works the same way as a normal New Game Plus. However, in the case of this game, there's also narrative differences with the story as you go through in comparison to just starting the game from a fresh new game. And I didn't know that until actually starting this playthrough. And so it made me have to rethink the approach. And so I'm doing this playthrough from scratch again, but I'm playing it on the easiest mode so that when I finish the first run through for this playthrough, I can then do the New Game Plus on normal difficulty and also experience the game again, but with all the different additional things that they added. So it's kind of like a unique way to use the New Game Plus, is not just simply, hey, all the weapon upgrades you got, you still get to keep them at the start, but here's just the same story again, 100% the same. They were like, how about we make it so that there's some differences with the story if you play New Game Plus? And I would have fitted, if I could have fitted it in with my October playthrough last year, I would have done, but I didn't have time, and I didn't even realize that that's how they did the New Game Plus with this game until today. So it's going to extend the playthrough, but I don't mind really, because it'll help refresh my memory of certain things by replaying it again. Hey Zayas, you haven't beaten this game yet? Yeah, the last playthrough I did was in October for my horror month. But Darren, you have to check it out again. Then also, you played through it a few weeks ago. Oh, did you? Yeah. So if you start a New Game Plus, it's not simply, hey, here's the exact same story, exact same way, no changes, but you get to keep your weapon upgrades and stuff. It's also, hey, how about we add some differences to the story as well? You did, Zayas? Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good that you beat the first one.
Crashed on the far side of the mirror. I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror. Casey, I think I'm in the overlap. Are you still on your way? Casey! Casey, do you read me? Fuck. Okay, Saga. Going in solo.
Logan? Logan! Where are you?
What the fuck was that? Logan's back in Virginia. You're imagining things.
Please help me.
What was that? Wait. Did I get turned around? No, this is right. This place is looping. Like a nightmare. Need to find Nightingale.
The rider went into the lake, banished the dark presence. Taken still lurked in the woods. The dark place receded. The current pulled back those with darkness inside, into the lake. Nightingale was there, one of them. The dark presence, Jagger had taken him. The witch had stolen his heart. They sank beneath the waves. The dark place, wandering in the shadows, muttering to themselves. It's dark. I'm lost. Where am I? Who am I? I can't remember. It's cold. Premium cabins for rent in Bright Falls. Who said that? Can you hear me? I need help. Please. Stop this. What did I do? You must dig it out. Their shape shifted. Echoes of the writer's dreams. Fading in, fading out. The next story and the story after that. The writer was writing again.
He's here. Nightingale.
Trapped here. To escape. Danger.
Who is that? It's like they're coming in over a bad signal. Nightingale's badge.
Get away! Get to safety.
Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
Hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI. I can hear you.
Cauldron Lake.
Yes, I'm at Cauldron Lake. Where are you?
To escape. In danger. The dark presence.
Danger. Thanks. Got it.
Hey! Are you okay?
No! It's my fault! It got out with my face! Scratch!
Sir, calm down. I'm gonna need you to take a breath.
He's changed the story. The dark presence. We must stop it before...
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer. I've been...
Wake? Where did you come from? You've been missing for 13 years.
13.
Hey there, little pumpkin. Welcome on in. I hope things are going well.
Anderson, where did you go? All of a sudden, the radio stopped working, and then that flooding just disappeared. Crazy forest. Is this who I think it is?
Casey, say hello to Alan Wake. Mr. Wake, this is Special Agent Alex Casey. He'll escort you to our car. Casey, I'll meet you there, right after I take a look around. If the flooding's receded, there might be evidence we missed earlier.
Okay. See you there.
Alex Casey? How? Am I still... Is this the dark place? No, it can't be. I got out.
Yeah, the PI from your books has the same name as me. Great. Moving on. It's a bit of a hike to the car, Wake. Just get your bearings, then we'll head out.
I need another minute. Cauldron Lake. I thought I'd never see this place again.
Take your time. But you should know these woods aren't the safest.
Yeah. It's getting dark. You have a flashlight? It's not safe without a light.
I have a light. And a gun. You can relax, Wake.
And pages. If you see pages of writing anywhere, you must take them and keep them safe. Our lives could depend on it. They have vital information.
We know about the pages, Wake. We'll keep an eye out for them.
Okay. Okay, just give me a moment. It's okay.
Take your time.
Should look around. With the flooding gone, could be further clues out there. The flooding disappeared very suddenly. I wonder if there's any connection to the overlap. To Nightingale.
Little Pumpkin, unfortunately things are going pretty bad. How have you been? How do you like this one? Oh, sorry to hear about that, Little Pumpkin. That sucks. I hope things can look up soon, though. As for me, I've been going good. Things have been going well. And this game, I like it. Yeah, I did my first playthrough of it in October. And they released a new game plus mode for it. And because last year I had other games to get to, I didn't have enough time, even if I wanted to actually do the new game plus. And it wasn't until today that I found out that the new game plus that they have for this game isn't 100% traditional. So normally with New Game Plus, of course, you carry over any weapons or items and upgrades and stuff that you had unlocked your first time around, and then that's pretty much it. However, in this game, they do that too, but they also add changes to the story that aren't in the version of the story that you play on a fresh save. I only found that out today, so it means that I'm doing a run through from scratch. And then when I've done that, I'll be doing New Game Plus mode. So it was kind of a bit weird. I wasn't sure how to sort of like plan and plot the rest of the playthrough as well. But I decided to play it on easy mode for the replaying of the game from the start. Because this is not technically, this is my annual playthrough now of Alan Wake 2 that I'm currently doing. So, because of that, it means that I wanted to start fresh. After finding out that the New Game Plus wasn't simply just, here's all your gear that you got, but it's also, hey, here's a different intro than what you got the first time around. Here's these differences throughout the story, even a different ending as well. So
Flashbacks. Remember Ohio?
Sure. The North Side slasher. But that case was completely different.
The trees, Anderson. He hid the bodies in the forest.
it's actually awesome that they changed the story in New Game Plus. Yeah, it's very Remedy of them to do. And that's what I like. I like when companies take risks and try to do something different, but in a way that actually serves the actual universe of the game already. The nature of having someone writing a story and having changes, and the concept of doing different drafts of a story, and that not every single draft will have all the same elements of something before. So it even works on a meta level really well with the works of Alan Wake himself,
The cult is leaving supplies around for themselves. Nightingale goes missing for 13 years, shows up murdered, and then turns into a monster. After I stop Nightingale, a rider who's also been missing for 13 years turns up. What's the connection? What kind of case is this? There's another lunchbox. I need to find my way back. Another one of those lunchboxes. Another locked box. There's something written here. A poem? Or a riddle? A little clothespin doll. Perfect weird souvenir for Logan. Reminds me of the nursery rhymes I read to Logan when she was little. Something feels different. I should look around. A charm. Cute. It'll go great on the bracelet Logan made for me. Huh. That was strange. Gotta keep an eye out for more of these rhymes.
I know it's not realistic, but I hate it when in games you can't break out of your reloading animation to shoot again. Especially when you have a lot more bullets.
Are turning into monsters.
For me, that's where realism and gameplay logic, where it's like gameplay logic is better than realism. The pumpkin eye has been going through Rise of the Tomb Raider. When she reloads the shotgun, takes forever. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That kind of stuff is always annoying when that happens. Something else too. In games where the camera is literally blocking your view, it's like, no. Please give the player an option to have the character a bit further away from the camera if you're going to pull the thing where when an enemy's up close, it just disorients you. Where your character blocks your view, or the environment blocks your view in the middle of trying to aim and shoot at something. You know, there's no quick shot. I mean, there is a bash, but that won't do like a whole big thing. Little Pumpkin, you got to go eat. If you're still streaming when I'm done, I'll be back. If not, have fun and good night. Thank you so much for joining, Little Pumpkin. I kind of want to end the stream once we get this part done. So I don't know if I'll still be streaming when you're finished eating. But thanks for popping in, though. I hope that you enjoy your food. And hope that things look up for you very soon as well. Okay, something else as well with games that have a map, always give the player the ability to mark a waypoint.
There's another cult stash.
Hey there, Cons. Welcome on in. I'm doing good, thank you. Things are going well. How about yourself? That's no worries, Little Pumpkin. Absolutely no worries at all. Hey, Kingslayer. The game's going really good. It's interesting being my second playthrough. New Game Plus mode was added, but it's not just keep all the stuff that you had when you finished the game the first time around. It's also that, but hey, we're going to give you a different intro, We're going to give you a different ending. We're going to change various things. We're going to add new, manuscript pages, all that kind of stuff. I didn't find that out until I literally loaded my stream up and started streaming and had a look at the option. And then I started and was like, hang on, this looks very familiar. But it was a different intro. Not fully, but the lead into the intro was different. So they're basically giving you a new game plus, but also a new game experience as well. So that meant I had to rethink my plan for the overall playthrough, and so I decided that I would start a new game from scratch, but play on easy mode to hopefully make that part of the playthrough not take as long. Because the first playthrough that I did, it took me like 30 hours to complete. And then once I've actually gone through the game on this new save, then I'll start the game over again on New Game Plus, which they've called the final draft. And then I'll go through the game again, but on that mode. So you're good. You just had to end streaming near Automata because it keeps crashing in one specific part. Oh man, that kind of thing is just so annoying. I remember in Dead Rising 4 when I first played that, there was this glitch that would happen in this chapter of the game, and no matter how many different approaches I tried, the game would keep crashing. And by this point, I'd put a lot of hours into the game and had leveled Frank up quite a bit. And so I had to actually restart the whole damn game again. I was a fair few hours into it as well. So that was very annoying. You've been reading up on potential fixes, so you will try again tomorrow. Well, hopefully you can find one that actually solves the problem, cons as well. Because that can be something too, trying to find a solution that actually works.
I feel bad for these guys. Another one of those rhymes. Doesn't make sense. Think, Saga. Nah. Ugh. Keep trying. Doesn't look right. Nope. I have a weird feeling something's changed. Okay then. What is this? Another charm for my bracelet.
Con's weird. It's not been fixed because a lot of people are experiencing the same crash as well. Oh, that's even more annoying too. If there hasn't been a fix that's been made.
We've reached the car, Anderson. How's it going down there?
I think I'm done here. I'll meet you at the parking lot. Ah, can't forget the dolls. Might need them again.
Huh, I mustn't have picked them up again. This is what I wanted to show. In Control, it talks about the lake house installation or whatever they want to call it. And we don't get to go through here. But this is for the FBC, the Federal Bureau of Control.
Nice talking to you, too.
Alright, so I think there's some pages that we actually picked up. So I want to cover these.
He'd been on the trail of the writer forever. The writer he despised. Hemingway, Bukowski, Wake. I'll get you. I'll find you. I'll make you pay. You're in over your head. He descended into the tunnels, from the Dark City, into the ocean of darkness. Next stop, Caldera Street Station. Something, a presence, rumbled. Not a train. Shadows shifted on the platform. The writer's cult waited for him there. The cult of the word. Occultists lean close. I carry his words close to my chest now. You're not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise. He'd be caught, murdered. They got him. They didn't get him. He was reborn out of hate. He was there, but he was risen. Sent to find the light switch up from the lake that was not the lake. Back at Witch's Ladle, Saga pointed the flashlight at the strange, dark substance. The same substance Nightingale had left at the morgue. There was something hidden under it. She strained to see. The opposite of sunspots in her eyes. Blacker than black. Suddenly a change. The light reacted to the substance. A feedback loop, surging up her arm. Saga squeezed the flashlight, willing it to penetrate the dark matter. Burn it away. The reality-changing influence of the dark place flowed like water flowed, like fear flowed. down the path of least resistance, eroding the weak spots until they cracked. In places where reality was more yielding, where story told and retold, imagination sparked and fear ignited again and again, had softened the walls of reality. Sites of violence and tragedy, where truth was laced with fiction, where a work of art proposed an alternative narrative, something people could suspect to be true, something people felt strongly about, something they feared. The stronger the connection between the belief and emotional response, the better. The darker, the better. A ghost of a witch ripping a man's heart from his chest. Two brothers murdering the neighbors and hiding their bodies in a well. A young woman haunting the flooded bunker where she drowned. Bedtime stories, folktales, urban legends connected to a specific place. These were the sites where the overlaps came to be. An overlap of the dark place needed a push from both directions to manifest itself. Reality in our world eroded by repeated dark lore tied to a location. And a counterpoint, a work of art, a horror narrative crafted in the depths of the dark place, connecting to the story on the other side to reach out through the weakened veil. A story of a lawman whose heart was cut out of his chest. Two corrupt men killed by their own twisted ambition. A haunted old woman drowned in a bathtub. Twisted reflections on the other side of the mirror. Arcs stabbing through realities, amplifying the influence of the dark place. These elements working in conjunction made a trickle that became a torrent, a wormhole, a vortex, and the art, the map, became the nightmare territory where the dark place encroached on our reality, a blanket over it, where they all overlapped, causing reality to twist and loop like a bad dream, remolding anything and anyone within its dark horror design.
You ready to go?
Mr. Wake, we're taking you back to our field office in Bright Falls. You can freshen up there, and then we'll talk properly.
Hey, Mom. Before you say anything, I'm totally fine. Don't freak out. Dad shouldn't have even texted you.
Logan? No one texted me. What's going on?
I'm totally fine. I slipped, that's all. God, it's not the end of the world.
Put your father on the phone.
Okay. Dad, it's Mom.
Don't worry, hon. Logan slipped in the shower and bumped her head. She has a slight concussion, but I'm keeping an eye on her. Lucky I heard her fall. She could have drowned.
Jesus, David. Why didn't you call?
I tried. It didn't go through. She's fine, really. But what about you? You sound stressed.
No, it's, just weird case, that's all.
Well, if you need a hint, my years of board game victories tell me Colonel Mustard did it.
I'll keep an eye out for him. Love you, Dave.
Love you too, honey. Want to say bye to Logan?
Just tell her I love her. Bye for now. Is there anyone you'd like us to reach out to, Mr. Wake? You've been gone a long time.
No. No. They'd be in danger. It'll come for me.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Robert Nightingale. Do you know him? You were both here in 2010.
The Dark Presence got him back then. That's the last time I saw him. 13 years. Oh, fuck me.
Tell us about the pages. You had what looks like a title page with you. Return. Is this the name of the story on these pages? The writer's name has been scratched out pretty violently, but your name can still be made out underneath.
Scratched out. Yeah. Scratch.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake?
I'm trying to remember. It's a crazy jumble, like a nightmare. It doesn't make sense. I remember.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome. We have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake is here. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers and guests on the show. He's here to talk about his latest book. Oh! And as usual, our house band, old gods of Asgard, is here. Take it away, you crazy Vikings!
Was I on a talk show tonight? Waking up in places with no memory of how I'd gotten there. It was out of control. I didn't need another mugshot in the fucking tabloids. Had I already done the show? Was that a recording?
Good. Alright, so save has been made. Okay, so this is where I'm going to end the first part of Alan Wake 2. The next stream of this will be tomorrow when it's Friday. It's still probably Thursday for some people, pardon me, around the world, but it's Friday 1:27 a.m. Here at the moment. We'll continue on, and this will be my Monday to Friday game, so I won't be finishing the game in tomorrow's stream, that's for sure, even though it will be a long stream and longer than this one. But this is where I'm going to call it. It was good to make as much progress as I did, and going to talk about something here. The game will let you actually switch between Alan and Saga, but we haven't reached the point yet where we can actually switch between them willingly. But when I actually get the ability to do so, we're going to do as much of Saga's stuff as we possibly can until the game forces us to go back to Alan. I wanted to play the game through differently than I did the first time. In my first playthrough, I played as Alan in the part where you're forced to play as Alan, and then I played as him for a bit after that, and then switched to Saga, and then played as her, then switched back to Alan, played as him for a bit, switched back, and went back and forth. But for this playthrough, I want to try a different order, and so I'll be doing the order of sticking with Saga for as long as we can until we switch back to Alan, and then do as much of that. There does come a point in the story where you're forced to play as one or the other character when the game decides as well. Would like to highly recommend people check out Crocodiles and Mr. Gote. Crooked is doing a playthrough of The Crew. He's also doing a playthrough of The Witcher 3 on the hardest difficulty without the HUD, and he's playing Geralt as an evil, greedy bastard. He's also doing a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Black Flag at the moment, without the HUD, no fast travel, and can only look at the map a limited amount of times. Mr. Gote is streaming games like Mortal Kombat 11, as well as games like Hunt Showdown, the Dark Pictures games, the Outlast games, some Ghost Recon, and many more. So I highly recommend checking out those streamers if you haven't before. We're going to go and raid out to Lucinda, who's playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope that everyone has a good one. Here's a raid message that people can feel free to use. That's a general one. Here's a raid message that has some free follower emotes included as well. And there is a raid message with some subscriber emotes in there as well. The next stream you'll see from me will be this again. On the weekend, I'm doing Red Dead Redemption 2 for my annual playthrough with an approach to the game that I've never done myself before, and I'll reveal what that is at the end of Friday's stream of Alan Wake 2. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a good one.